We're live.
Doom, dun, 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 dun. Doom, dun, 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 dun. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's Thursday. We're trying to get some cash here, man. We live with our guy Ronald Cabang, Ski Profit as well, man. We back talking some WNBA for you guys, right? Obviously we bet WNBA every day, but this is a show. It's Tuesday. I'm tripping, guys. It's Tuesday. You know me, I don't work a regular job, so every day is the same to me, man. But we doing WNBA shows Tuesday and Thursdays, my guys. I'm your host, Jay Money. We got our guy Ronald Cabang and Ski Profit here with us, ready to break down some WNBA games. Ronald, how you doing, my brother? Everything cool with you?
Pretty good. WNBA right now. Nice run. 8-2-1 run right now in the WNBA going into the play to the All Star game. So hopefully that's a sign for the second half here.
Yeah, let's keep it going, man. What's up with you, Ski? Everything cool with you, my brother? Coming off this beautiful WNBA All Star break?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Got a few days without basketball. It's nice to have basketball back. I think maybe the last 3 weeks or so, I'm hitting about 60% in the W. So try to pick back up where we left off.
Yes,
No,
sir. Yeah,
yeah.
man. We did have some basketball. We had some summer league basketball. I was watching this shit heavy, man. But they got us through right until WNBA is back, man. So more basketball today. We got two great games. Let's break them down, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Hot Atlanta in this one, guys. We're going to Hot Atlanta. Got the dream here. Land 6 points at the house versus the Minnesota Lynx. This line actually opened up at 4.5. Start to move up to the Dreams way. We know that they were red hot right before the break. I always like to say though, some teams might not really like that break coming, right? They were so hot, but personally, I
Mhm.
still feel like the Dream are a lot better team than the Lynx. Even though the Lynx start to play a lot better, they kind of start to taper off there as the right before the break, right? I believe they lost 2 or 3 straight games. Dream had won 5 straight. They were running hot there, Ronald. Do you think the Dream can keep it going? I like the way they've been playing here, Ronald. You think that break kind of mess up their mojo, or you think they keep it going here?
I don't think so. I think they keep it going here. I think they were both going in like different directions, right? The like you mentioned, the Lynx lost and failed to cover in the last two games leading up to the All Star break. But even before that, their offense, even before that, their offense was clicking a little bit, but their defense was actually pretty bad. They allowed their opponents to go over their team total in 6 of their last 8 games, and I think that's the reason why they were kind of struggling to get some wins there, even though their offense was clicking. The last two games specifically going into the All Star break, I think it was the Aces and the Wings. They gave up over 100 points in each one of those games there, and then you catch the Dream Team. Obviously, you said that break there between the All Star break could have messed up some momentum, but
Mhm.
their offense was really on point. I think they were either first or second in offensive rating in the last 5 games. They won 6 straight, 5-0-1 against the spread in that same span there. In the last 4 games leading into that break as well, 4 straight opponents under their team total. So it wasn't just their offense that was clicking; their defense was doing well as well. And the injury is still, hurting the Lynx here. Key pieces still missing. Jessica Shepard, she was a big part of, the starting lineup. She was. I think there was a few games where she played pretty much every minute of the game. That's how important she is as far as being big on that roster. And then Powers and Bantam were a couple people who's missing that were coming off of the bench with decent minutes. I know the Dream are going to be without McDonald, but for the most part, I just feel like the Dream are a better team overall, both offensively and defensively. The momentum's on their side, even though they did have that break there. Also, the pace. I think the pace of play is a thing that is going to struggle. Or is going to be a bad part for the Lynx there. They tend to struggle in high scoring games when the book sees the total of 166 or greater. They're 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread. The opposite is for the Dream here when they see a higher scoring game, total 164 or greater, 8-2-1 against the spread there, and including 3-0 straight up, 2-0-1 against the spread when they're favored in that game as well. So a lot of things to me pointing towards the Dream to cover. And then also to the under, the Dream have the Sun in back to back games coming up. So this is
Mhm.
a spot where maybe they take control for the most part of the game, let off the gas pedal towards the end of the game. But they should be, in my opinion, I would think that they would be ahead enough to still cover the game, even though they slowed the pace down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was some great points there, Ronald. Obviously, like you say, the Lynx, man, coming off that 40-point loss to the Dallas Wings in that one at the house, 107-67 in that one. We know Collier was in the All-Star game. They do get back, they get back Tiffany Mitchell as well. The Lynx do today, so we'll see if that. Obviously, we know that they were missing her, so we'll see if that comes to fruition for them. Ski, how you liking this game, my brother? I always be I'm always about to say the Hawks, man. The Dream coming in winning 6 straight. Ski, do you think they can keep it going tonight, my brother?
I'm not so hot on the Dream like Ronald is. I just look at what they were doing before the break, and I'm not impressed. Like they beating up on teams that are injured or teams who just are
Mm.
not good. The Sparks missing a hell of a lot of players. The Sky just not good, and the Storm combination of both. So I just don't think that Atlanta deserves to be this much of a favorite. Um, and just saying that, looking at the other side, Minnesota, they were playing good basketball before those last 2 games. They had won 5 in a row,
Mm.
and they ran into an Aces team who was pissed off a loss, and they got beat in that one. And they just, I think they kind of just punted that last game before the All Star break. In the Aces game, they gave up. I think it was a franchise record 113, and in the
Yeah.
Wings game, they lost by a franchise record 40 points. That kind of stuff
Mhm.
gets your attention, especially for a respected coach like Reeve. Um, so I just expect her to get the most out of their players, and I think they're going to win this game with defense. She was talking about it, saying they know that's their problem, and they relayed that to the players. And coming out the All Star break, they expect to be improving defensively and winning games that way. So
Mm.
I like that. I think Lynx can keep it within 6.5. And also, what I was saying, I mean, the Lynx play at the second slowest pace in the league the last couple games. If you combine
Mhm.
that with how they're talking about playing defense, I like that for an under. Last time these teams played, the total was like 161.5, and they didn't make it over 160, I don't believe. So to see it up 9 points higher is, I want to say it's a little crazy. I get it though, just because Atlanta has been an over team. They won so many overs in a row, but just
Mhm.
looking at how they've been playing lately, I like to look at last 3 games. They went from number one down to number four in pace, and at the same time being a number one defensive rated team in that span. So if you tell me they're gonna play defense and play a little slower, Minnesota already plays slow and they focusing on playing defense. I think this is an under type game. So I like the link side, but I agree with Ronald on the under.
Yeah, the under could be a great look, guys. I wanted to ask you guys some questions. I know y'all are big SDQL guys. How does it usually look when when teams are coming off the All Star break? Do you think Ronald, that usually points to the under, to slower pace, maybe a little bit more missed shots? Teams might maybe not as in condition, in
Mm.
basketball form as they were when they were playing every day after the little break. Kind of makes a little more sense for them to focus more. I mean, defense, it's hard to get rusty defense, right? It's moving your feet.
Yeah.
It's all about effort. With offense, obviously, you have to be in rhythm. You have to be in great basketball form to be knocking down those shots. I feel like it could be a good look here for the under, especially with Tiffany Mitchell coming down. It seems like every time I'm watching her, she's picking up full court, giving 100% effort on the defensive end. So I kind of agree with you guys. Maybe the under 170 here is the greatest look. Ronald, what do you possibly think about that? But with the two teams coming off of All Star break, possibly missing some shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense, right? It gets them off their rhythm, right? The All Star
Mm-hmm.
break gets them off their rhythm, and like you mentioned, the defense typically is there, right? It's mobility and just effort, obviously, and then offensively, I mean, like I was just playing basketball last night, right? And some of the, where I was off for like 2 weeks and I couldn't hit a shot yesterday, but once you get into a rhythm, then all of a sudden, you kind of feel it, right? So it might be a situation where that's the case. They're going to be off rhythm. Their offense is going to be not as on point as it was right before the break. I mean, I don't think the Lynx offense was on point to begin with. So I think it's more so going to affect the Dream. But I think overall, the Dream, in my opinion, are still the better team on both sides of the ball.
That makes perfect sense, Ski. What do you think? I know you like the under here, but what do you think about just that angle of taking some unders coming off of All Star break, especially with two good defensive teams?
I think it depends on the number. Like when you come off the break and maybe you have two really good defensive teams and you that to be a brick fest and a lot of effort defensively. Or if we see a game like kind of like this one, like we see where the total is above 170, I just think it's a little bit too much to expect them to, come out of the All-Star break with the same exact rhythm that they had because, 170 plus is a lot in the WNBA. So I
Yeah.
think it just kind of depends on the number. If you're somewhere in the middle, I think you can maybe still get with an over.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's a
think
good point.
I agree. Ski, the number just went too high. I think it was skewed just because of the last two defensive shows by the Lynx, right, and then the
Mhm.
offense from Dallas. So I think all of that stuff combined, it's sort of that recency bias that adjusts the total a little bit too high.
That's a great point. Yeah, I would lean to the, if I had a best bet in this game, which I didn't bet anything, I would be looking towards the under 170 in this game, guys, especially with the Lynx, like Ski said, coming off gave up 107 points. Now, I mean, to the 113 to the Aces isn't that bad, but 107 to the Wings at the house, you got to come back and bounce back defensively. Like you better be thinking about this shit the whole fucking break. We just gave up 100 over 100 back to back in the WNBA game where around 80 is basically like 100. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they better be on it. I'd be looking towards the under in that one for sure. Under 170 and a half would be my best look in that game, guys. We only got 2 games today, so let's get to the next one. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix in this one, guys. We're going to
Yeah,
Phoenix,
I got that.
Arizona. We have the Mercury in this one, guys, getting 7.5 points from the Connecticut Sun in this one. Total sitting at 162 and a half. Looks like this line originally opened up at Sun laying -5. It got all the way up to -8.5, starting to come back down. Somebody putting some money on the Mercury there, getting the points at the house in this one. We know the Sun are the better team, but can they go on the road and win by margin in this particular spot, Ronald? How are you looking at this game, my brother?
Yeah, this one's tough. I didn't get a chance to bet anything on this one. I think it's for me, it's a little bit too close. I ran a model yesterday. I have it as Sun 84, Mercury 79. So the totals are on point pretty much with what my model says. But I mean, one thing that Ski says is you got to use the the eye test, right? You got to pass the eye test. And even though the model says the Mercury is a spot here, maybe keep it within 5 6 points, dude, there's no way I'm gonna put my money on the Mercury at this point right now. The Sun, the one thing that I could say is that I mean, if you look at records and ATS, everything points towards the Sun, right? They went into the break winning 3 straight, covered all 3 of those. Their offense has been pretty good all season long. One thing about
Mm-hmm.
the Sun too, I don't know, people have been catching on, but they've gone over their team total in 12 of their last 13 games. The other thing
Damn.
to mention too, they have, like I said earlier, with the Dream, they're gonna be playing together in back-to-back games after this. And to me, I think it got to the point where the Dream and the Sun could be a key game, so they could possibly look ahead to that matchup, right? Because of the conference or whatever. So that might be another situation. Maybe the Mercury catch the Sun sleeping late and backdoor cover, but I'm not gonna put my money on this game at all. I think we got to see how the Mercury come out of this break here.
No, that's a fact, man. I kind of made a rule. Never look towards back in the Mercury. I don't give a damn if they look like they're trying to play better. I'm just not looking towards back in them, man. So you're right, Ronald. Maybe they come out with a I can't even say sense of urgency, man. It's the worst fucking team in the WNBA. But Ski, what do you think? Is there anything left like for the Mercury? Do they have anything to play for? Obviously, this is maybe beat Tarazi's one of their last seasons, maybe Brittany Griner as well. Do you think that they try to play a little bit better or something? Because I mean, if not, the Sun could smoke their ass. Ski, what are we doing here?
Do you think they should try to play a little bit better? They would have probably been trying to do that if they could. They need a point
Just
guard, man. They
ass.
need Skylar back. I'm not like you guys said. I'm not putting my money on them. I don't care. Yeah, it's Suns are past, and Ronald kind of laid it out for you. I mean, they've gone over their team total so many games in a row. Why would you look any other direction? Phoenix hasn't been really good defensively. Connecticut's going to play with pace. Alyssa Thomas, she's going to grab the board and bounce. So I would look towards the Connecticut team total over. I like that look from him. But I think, the first half over is a pretty good look at 80. What is it now? It's shaded even that way. The full game is what, 162 and a half, and the first half is now 82 and a half. And if you just look how both of these teams have been playing, I'll focus on the Phoenix side. Like the first quarter, I feel like they hang around a little bit. The second quarter, they start letting go of the rope. And then the rest of the game, it's just blowout city. Like nobody really cares anymore. So the points, in my opinion, come in the first half. Just looking at what they've been doing so far compared to the numbers, Phoenix 15-4, over 82 points in the first half. But the full game, they've gone under 8 of their last 12 at 162.5. That's just telling you exactly what I said before. So I want to get in and get out while they still maybe feel a little bit good after the All-Star break. Maybe they can compete a little bit, and we'll go over the 82 points in the first half.
They could be a good look, like you say. It's Ski. We know the Sun. I mean, with Alyssa Thomas run on a fast break, DeWanna Bonner, they can score points, right? So if the Mercury on that stuff, which they're usually on, where they have no interest in playing defense, maybe you just need them to score a few points in this one. And like Ronald alluded to as well, maybe the Sun kind of start looking towards the next game and kind of just feel like they can win this game with offense. Don't necessarily have to go balls to the. I can't say balls to the wall in WNBA, man, but I'm gonna have to figure out something else. But maybe they're not really worried about defensive too much because they know they can just win this game by outscoring the Mercury here, man. So could be a great look there, Ski, with the first half over. I mean, shit, if they come out there and score 90 points in the first half, both of them could get there. First half over and the full game over, and maybe the Sun team total over there as well, Ronald. So I know you say they cashed 12 out of the last 13. Do you think it's just one of those where we should just play it up until they don't look so good, or them coming off the All-Star break kind of give you a little hesitation?
I think, man, this one's tough. It's one of those things where you want to follow the trend, right? But it's just like these little things in the back of my mind, just like, nah, don't do it. But it could be a slower paced game. Mercury, it could be just an ugly game overall. But I think I like the first half. I think the first half over makes a lot of sense. I mean, if they get a big lead in the second half, why push the pace when they don't need to, right? So that could be the way that the best play on the board for this game here.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a great point, man. Yeah, so with this game, I don't really have a good look, to be honest with you, man. They be tripping. Hey, tripping in the chat, man. Yeah, but nothing for me on this game. Sun, a lot better team. I don't even want to look towards the Mercury, but I mean, you never know. Though the hardest bets to make sometimes are the best ones, but I'm still not betting the Phoenix Mercury. I'd rather just watch the game and stay off, man. But let's get to the recap in this one, man. What we guys like, what we're liking, closing comments, all that. I know me personally, I didn't bet anything. I knew I wasn't going to bet anything WNBA today. I'm going to watch some games. This could be like a whole nother season, right? So I'm going to watch some games, get the feel for some more of these teams once again here. Stand off today. If I had one good look that I'd be looking at, it'd be the under in that first game in the Dream versus Lynx. Lynx better come out and try to bounce back off defense. I think Tiffany Mitchell coming in, she'll probably be rusty on offense, but you don't get rusty on defense. It's not something it's just not something that you'd be rusty at. So I feel like that game really has a great chance to go under. Ronald, what you looking at today, my brother? What do you have going over at Wager Talk?
Yeah, we're at Wager Talk. I gave these out to my clients, the Dream and the under there. So both plays I'll give out to today. So don't go to the website today to buy it. Just take it here. I do have one MLB play, but I'm not as confident on it as these WNBA plays today, especially the under. I really do like the under. That's probably my favorite play for today.
I like it. I might have to go ahead and ride with this. Ski, what you liking today, my brother? It sounds like it might be a trifecta spot on that under. You dig it?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna roll with. That's my best bet. I like the under. I like the way everybody broke it down. So I might throw a little extra change on there after the show. But I am $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk. So if you want to be involved with my best bet there, go ahead and grab it. $2.
Y'all go check out Ski Profit over at Wager Talk. Best bet for $2 up. Sounds like we're all kind of liking that under. I don't think I've played a single total in the WNBA, and I'm not really a total guy, but I'm a fan of what makes sense. I know that the Lynx, there's 6 out of their last 7 games have went over, but with that break, it kind of can throw everything off. I am a fan of the Dreams defense. I feel like this team can really lock up, and I mean, I like the Lynx coach as well. I'm pretty sure she's telling them, look, guys, we got to play some freaking defense. We just come off giving up back-to-back 100-point games. They had 4 straight home games. Now they head out on the road. Maybe they'll be a little bit more focused here heading out on the road. So hadn't bet anything yet, but I might ride with my guys there with the under 170.5. The Lynx and Dream spot in Nelwyn, guys. Could not talk you off in Nelwyn. That's the show. Y'all know how we do it. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday breaking down the WNBA bets. If you guys like to catch my guys every single day, Monday through Sunday, we only live one way, and it's Monday through Sunday, but you can check my my guys out on Wager Talk, or you can follow them on Twitter as well at UCampus Sports, at Ski Profit. Let's get some cash. We will win, guys. We back on Thursday. We out. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, my guys. Let's go.
Peace.